Welcome back, everybody. It's time now for game number 2 of the Starladder America Finals. We're here in round 1 of the winner bracket with eHug taking on Root Gaming. eHug undefeated in the group stage and continuing that streak in the playoffs here. They're up 1-0, and, well, it's now up to Root Gaming to bounce back or be knocked down to the lower bracket, Dakota.
Oh, yeah, match point right now. eHug looking damn good. They are now 8-0, I guess, in Starladder run. And they have a really nice start right here. A lot of these teams have been drinking something in the Kool-Aid because they are all about the Omni Knight justice right now. And if they have the opportunity to first pick it, they will certainly grab it. In the previous game where they did not have first pick, they banned it immediately. This game, having first pick, they hold them on out, and they do get rewarded. So I'm curious to see what the big deal is with this Omni Knight. Why do these teams have to have it? Last time eHug played it, they had Sna playing it, so they do love more of a support-style Omni Knight.
Yeah, and we're seeing more of this Stormstripe ban as well. Another hero some of these American teams are really kind of leaning towards. I remember seeing a few Stormstripe picks yesterday in some of those tiebreaker matches, so it's going to continue to get banned out. Root Gaming have gone for the Puck Vengeful Spirit, and whenever I see this kind of opening, I think, you got to ban Drow Ranger. If you're eHug, there's so much physical damage with the minus armor from the Howl, the bonus damage from the Vengeance Aura. Not to mention you've got 2 ranged heroes. Puck with Drow Aura is just nasty good, so I definitely look towards a Drow Ranger pick if it's not banned out by eHug, and I think it's kind of like a no-brainer when you see this Venge Puck opening that you just have to ban Drow.
Yep. And now Legion Commander could be the second grab here for eHug. Great lockdown capability, and, well, if you put her together with Guardian Angel, there's not much of a duel that you can lose, so... and Repel. So last time I saw them get the Omni Knight, I didn't watch the match, but just based on the statistics and what they ran, they love to go heroes that would benefit a lot from a BKB, but I guess they could save some money having an Omni Knight, so like a PA. They could even go for the Gyrocopter again. And they also ran a Void, I believe, that game. But this time they're not going to get the luxury of that. It's being banned out. And there's that PA ban, so maybe something they could have gone for. Or thinking about going for. So eHug not going to get the luxury of that, and we'll see what their next step is going to be. But Root Gaming have a really nice start here, not just by fashion sense and color, but great initiation from both. I just can't, I mean, it's crazy. I said this yesterday, Vengeful Spirit as a support, I always used to just scoff it off. I thought that the range of swap was too low. She was too fragile. She'd have to get in there, die, and wouldn't get a lot done. But using swap, I almost see more so as a defensive maneuver. It just seems to work so well. And eHug got to be confident here. They're picking the Legion Commander into a Vengeful Spirit, who's one of the best at countering duels on her own right. Doesn't matter if you got a BKB or not. She will end that duel or at least prevent it immediately.
No. It doesn't actually cancel the duel, but it's like it does kind of pulls them away, and you got
an awkward spot of, hey, get back here, I gotta duel you.
It's like 3 seconds where they're not in the position. Like if you've got the Omni Knight synergy there, where you want to use the purification for like that heal bomb, you're not getting it with the swap. So no, I agree. It's a nice little counter, and I think at this point, those heroes who can benefit from not having to rush a BKB like a PA, and I think the power of the Omni Knight's really around that kind of 15 to 20 minute mark of the game where you don't want to go first on BKB on PA anyways. Generally, when you go for that damage item, the Helm of the Dominator, the Battle Fury we see on a lot of PAs, and it means you can actually fight with like a glass cannon build, and then get the BKB later as well, because once you get to late game, generally there's Diffusal Blades. Generally you have maybe multiple heroes who want to have a Repel, so that's where your PA can get like a 3rd, 4th item BKB, and it's still 10 seconds in the late game. The problem is going first on BKB on a PA or second item is you get late game, it's 5 seconds, but Repel can make up for that early on. So.
Another hero that pops out to me that they could go for, and I believe they've ran with Omni Knight, is getting a Razor. They could be holding on a Razor. Infinity loves that hero, and he can benefit a lot from the extra bit of sustain. So something to keep an eye out for. One thing I'm sad that we don't get to see enough of, especially from at least the NA scene, or maybe just all the scenes in general, and with this new patch, I want to see more jungle action supports again, man. Where's my Chen? The Test of Faith buff, I think, is just so good. You're telling me that this hero now can mobilize from lane to lane and just bring his army with him instantly. That is quick defensive pushes, quick split pushes, and obviously if you're feeling fancy, you can get a Blink Dagger and do some sort of big Chen plays there. But a hero I feel deserves to be shown more, him and Enchantress, but we don't get to see him enough. And Wisp. These are all supports that the NA players, they don't really care for.
I agree with you. I think the main players, if they're doing playing devil's advocate, would be like, well, Chen, you can't really go to runes early on and contest. Like 2 minutes in,
that's true.
You only have 1 creep max. You're not level 3 by 2 minutes in, so you want to contest a rune. You have 1 creep. Your creeps are kind of slow. Like you give up all that rune control if you're picking a Chen specifically. Enchantress less so, because Enchantress kind of is much more of that aggressive ganking hero. Chen plays that more Enigma style where you're just passive farming. So I always think Chen, I'm like, well, Chen's good, but Enigma just feels kind of better, maybe.
Yeah, you could put a creep over there, and if he's not, he just denies the rune and takes it away from the enemy instead. And But I get what you mean. The downside, I guess, is having this awesome new rune system is teams now know that. They have to build around it, and you get a lot of those beefcake body card kind of supports. And well,
Yes.
speak of which, here we go. Abaddon's going to pop up, and, a lot of healing power right there, a lot of sustain, almost like that Wraith King-esque ability to kind of... They're not going to be dueling this hero, that's for sure. And he'll be right there to be able to disjoint and remove any sort of stun or lockdown. I like the grab, and, well, there's the Razor I was saying from eHug.
Spot on with that one. So Razor Legion, 2 of their cores. Would you say normally Infinity in the safe lane farming Razor, or does he go mid with this?
Pretty positive he'll be going mid with this. But, this is a new eHug group, and we never really know. I believe SN would take up a core side lane position, but it doesn't hurt to have Razor safe lane. And with these last 2 picks, things can always change. We'll have to see.
Yep. So for Root Gaming, most likely have their support during the Abaddon Vengeful Spirit. This is almost like an EG style draft that we've seen a few times. And with the Venomancer, absolutely. They go this like cheesy kind of 5-man lineups with the Abaddon giving them just so much survivability. Like throw in like a Venomancer who's another just tanky guy who just he's so hard and annoying to deal with. And having tanky survival hero is great against Legion Commander because it makes it really hard for eHug to build up that dual damage. They need to find some kind of burst here coming out from these last 2 picks, I feel. Like throwing something like a Lina or whatever it may be, because right now... Yeah.
They've gotten a Zeus before.
Yeah, Zeus would be great, I think.
Zeus can offer some really good burst if they're feeling the same thing you are. They've done it before. They've done it before with a Razor. I guess they just really like that lightning theme. Yep. But it's been done. We'll see if it's going to be something they can go for. And Venomancer, man, that guy is just a terror. You place him in a side lane, you let him build up a lot of farm. I know most teams have been prioritizing putting him in the mid lane, but when he does manage to get farm and work on the side lane, just being a plague, there's eventually a point when the other team is like, okay, we got to do something about this Venomancer. He's really causing a problem over there. And next thing you know, you're investing so much to just try to take him down, and by the time you're about to finish him off, he still just gets his Poison Nova off anyways. And now you're like, well, I got no life left. I got a third of life. Everyone go back to base and heal up. And pretty much he did his job. You invested a lot of time to take on the Venomancer. You lost a lot of your life along the way. And really, he just created a lot of space for the rest of his team. And even in the big fights, and he shows up if he does those like kamikaze bomb style, blink in with an Agnums and just spreak havoc everywhere. Next thing you know, eHug is going to be very, very wounded, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on this Omni Knight to try to get everyone healed up.
Yeah, when you talk about like dealing with the Venomancer, it also makes me think like they're going to be going for another kind of last pick carry here for UR, which is going to benefit a lot from that space. If they want to go for that full 5-man, maybe they go for like the Necrophos here, but I think getting that carry, and even another like tanky, really hard to kill carry like a Medusa could be an alright last pick here for UR as far as how he likes to play. But the Lycan Band,
Medusa, so
Lycan Band's probably a smart choice as well here.
Yeah, Lycan, another hero that's just one of those heroes I feel is part of the trend. Like some heroes are like, oh yeah, remember Lycanthrope's good, and they're always like first pick, first ban, especially against like teams like EG, and you forget about it and then you're done with it. Right now, I'd say like Jakiro is like the trendy hero that no one just they all forgot about. He just doesn't really have much. I don't think Jakiro was nerfed too hard. His liquid fire damage was tweaked down a bit, but I think there was a lot more to Jakiro than just liquid fire. He had great lockdown, great slow. He was tanky, and he could do a good job bodyguarding those runes. But teams seem to just ignore him, and I want to say at least the past 4 or 5 games I've casted, I haven't seen him picked up nor banned.
Well, it will be a carry, but it's a Morphling, so...
That's that split push UR style he liked to play. He did play it in the previous series, going against Complexity, he got the win there. But it's more or less the same style that we're going to see from him. Like Lakel's Morphling, I think is what I said last time. Split push, farm on the side, and then you're just like, what? This guy is a pain in my ass right now. He's all over the place.
And they've got no good Morphling counters per se. If you're going to go max Maledict build on Witch Doctor, it's pretty nice because he takes so much damage that the Maledict proc really kind of kick in. But as far as having like Mana Burn goes, or something that can just...
minus armor.
Yeah, or like a Slack where you can steal his stats. There's
Starladder, I think, was picked up last time that they went against him. That's not going to be the case. They had something else in mind. It was this Broodmother. I think this is something they were going in from the get-go. It's been a hero that a lot of teams, unless you're Vici Gaming, I guess, that you save for that 5th and final pick. When the stars align and it works out perfectly, you feel like this is going to be an optimal Brood game. And, well, GoDz, do you feel like it is here? I mean, there's not a whole lot of wave clearing. There's a Gale here. There's Puck. But I feel like maybe MJW will be able to do what he wants in the side lane.
Morphling, not a good carry to match up against Brood. Abaddon, a really bad support. Venger's good against Brood, but you need that like secondary support or a carry that can kind of combine with the Vengeful Spirit. And I feel like Morphling or Abaddon, neither of those offers that right now. So I think it's definitely a good Brood game. And we'll see how Root Gaming look to handle. They pretty much going to be forced to like tri-lane against this Brood, it feels like, almost, just using whatever they can, buying multiple Sentry Wards to even keep Brood out of the lane.
And we'll see here. We're going to get game number 2 of this best of 3 series underway here. eHug coming in as the strong favorites, being 7-0 in the group stages. They've already taken down Root in game number 1, now match point. Root Gaming looking to bounce back and take it to a game number 3 as we start these playoffs. I'll go ahead and just lead on in with the introductions. Your eHug squad here on your dire side. Top lane, Infinity. He's going to be playing one of his signature Razor grabs, and it's going to be going to the safe lane here. He's going to be joined by Lust on the Witch Doctor and Sna playing his Omni Knight. Mid lane, it's going to be SN playing your Legion Commander with that sexy Arcana ready to go. And bottom lane, MJW is going to be playing the Pest, the Broodmother.
All right, for the Radiant side, it is going to be Root Gaming down 1-0 despite the misleading scoreboard at the top of the game right now. It's going to be your boy JC on the Vengeful Spirit. You are playing the Morphling, those two in the safe lane currently. Sumail on the mid lane, Puck, and then in the off lane right now, Trouf is up there on the Abaddon with an early ward, and Chicken MC the off lane Venoman. So we'll see where Trouf looks to stay. Last game spent a lot of the early game looking to contest runes and just try and be pesky, poking around the map, trying to get whatever scouting information he could.
It was a cute start, but I felt like Beastmaster didn't really evolve into anything that was really potent in the late game. Trouf looking to redeem himself and bounce back on this Abaddon, who I'm sure will have lots of work cut out for him trying to aid and about. Right now, potential dual lanes going to be spread right here as he's going to be side by side with Chicken MC, it looks like, at the start of this one. So we'll go ahead and get things underway. A mid matchup now between Legion Commander and Puck. Imagine Sumail, who's been well versed on the Puck and is going to be extremely slippery here to gank, and he'll be able to find some respectable CS. He's got 2 shared tangos and that null to work with, and Legion Commander will always be able to fall back on a little bit of extra nuke damage with that overwhelming odds. And I guess in case things get hairy, she can always press the attack.
Yeah, I think this will be slightly Puck favored as far as last hits goes, but overall pretty even matchup, and something where a good Legion Commander player, and if you have a good game, could even do quite a bit here. MJW bottom lane already getting zoned out to some extent here. The early Sentry Ward gets planted, and your boy JC, this is one of the big keys to dealing with the Brood. Level 1, before he has any Spiderlings whatsoever, harass him as much as possible, force him away from the lane, and slow down the level 2, level 3. If you zone him out of XP range, it goes a long way of slowing down that Spiderling army.
Once you get to that level 3, that's when Brood really begins to go crazy. That's when that's the start of the snowball. And one thing to make a worthy note in this recent patch, especially with the change to Diffusal Blade, it becomes something that maybe Broodmother can actually consider. It is going to be able to interact with her ultimate now, and you get the benefit of being able to purge off any dust, and you can just slow down your enemy and chase them and eat them all up. So I wouldn't mind seeing a Diffusal Blade as a potential grab for MJW, but overall the respected kind of cookie cutter builds have always been Orchid and maybe a Necro book.
And because he's got this 1v2 lane and he's already being pressured quite a bit, he's gone for this. He's been spamming his Spiderlings, just level 1 Spiderlings. So he's already built up a bit of a Spiderling army, and once there's like 3 to 5 spiders, you could be really careful if you're this Vengeful Spirit. So Vengeful Spirit already playing pretty defensive now, was going super aggro at level 1 with the Wave of Terror, which is the right level 1 skill build, just because you do get more damage, overall damage and fighting capabilities. But now, with about 4 or 5 Spiderlings here, you do not want to fight into this Brood.
It looks like it's going to be... Is that just out of range? Oh, that Sentry in the bottom lane is not going to see the obs just off the left-hand side, unfortunately. So he will see any sort of incoming gank. It looks like a TP had to be called out from Trouf right there as Infinity was pushing him in on the top. But here we go. Yeah, they had to get him under the tower. Chicken MC with the first blood. An immediate return. So 1 for 1 right there. I guess Chicken MC...
He dived...
Worth it for the first blood bonus.
Dives enemy tower as a level 1, level 2 Venomancer, gets first blood. Good on you, Chicken MC. That was some ballsy play. Abaddon getting the TP out to survive and is going to make that long walk back to top lane, but his team gets the first blood. And it's good for the Radiant side. End of the day, though, it's still a support kill, so the kill is not the biggest deal, but it's still money in the bank for Venomancer, who only has 2 CS.
And as far as the CS matchup goes for the mid lane, Sumail and Puck 13-6 to the Legion Commander 10-0. So SN just a little bit behind, but that's what we expected. Puck is going to be able to do what she wants as far as the CS goes. Get to her level 6, and we'll see how mobile this Puck can quickly become. Bottom lane still trying to work with this pestering Broodmother. MJW with low mana now. And it looks like with the early Sage's Max, it's going to be just that standard Soul Ring kind of a build-up. The extra bit of mana to farm, and we'll see if he does that similar style we see from Ice 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 and being able to take out the opponent's jungle for yourself. Top lane, though, Gale going to fly out here. Lust could be in trouble, but a Repel's going to immediately fly out from Snot. And now they're going to look to turn the healing support to try to run down the Poison Fiend here, but Chicken MC's got respected move speed, is going to be able to slither away.
Yeah, Beam on bottom lane. Oh, MJW 5 HP. Very close there, and the counter kill potential not really there. Brood low on mana. Wants to just linger around this bottom lane. Looks like he does have his Soul Ring on Courier, which will be coming out soon. And action in both top and bottom lane here. Brood getting that HP regen in the web, and should be able to stay in this lane for a bit longer here, but he has to be very careful about that Sentry Ward.
Looks like Root are going to be able to benefit from both runes here. Bottom is going to be a bounty quickly snagged up, and after that little engagement, top Chicken MC is going to help babysit the one there, and it's going to be grabbed up from Sumail.
Yeah.
So
Bench is level 4 already. This is... That's value as far as dealing with a Brood, having a high level support, 2 in the Howl, 2 in the Stun.
Step away from the lane whatsoever, and it's just a dual lane. So she's getting reasonable XP.
That's good news. The bounty rune's helping out as well. So Brood not gonna have an easy time even when the levels start kicking in, assuming they can maintain the Sentry Ward coverage. You just have to know when there's a big Spiraling army coming your way and get the hell out of there. And it looks like second set of Sentry Wards has been purchased by your boy JC. It's a bit of a gold investment, but this is what you've got to do as a Brood. You get much slower boots, and they're going for a kill here. MJW, I think, is going to be okay. Second Sentry Ward under the tower. They really want to commit to this one, but he gets out of there, and that's a big loss for Brood. 2 Sentry Wards used. What are you doing, MJW? He gets the kill on the Morphling. Oh. He's making your boy JC.
Top lane also, there's a bit of action. Chicken MC is going to get brought down.
The Spiderling's just going to get this kill. He's just kiting him. The Spiderlings will finish off your boy JC.
No! Nipped in the butt, literally right there, and MJW gets an extra bit of kill. 4-1, top lane. The skirmishes didn't stop either. They managed to take down Chicken MC, who was just kind of being a little too ballsy and out of position from the lane. Too far also from Trout to help out. And as Trout makes his return to the lane, Infinity just whips him on up and forces him back. It looked like another game where eHug are kind of getting the most out of some of these lanes. Mid lane maybe more of a wash, maybe a slight favor for Root, but 2 is better than 1.
MJW just outplaying that bottom lane there. Like, you go in and you've got to get that kill instantly and not take the damage they did. They went for the waveform in. Once that waveform has to kill him right away, because otherwise you're screwed. There's even just 3 or 4 Spiderlings is too many to handle for a Morphling when he's got no mana to really morph strength and no movement speed to get out of there. So as things stand right now, this bottom lane has turned into a complete disaster. I don't think 2 heroes can verse a level 7 Brood anymore.
Sumail now level 6. Maybe they were hoping to bait him in with Trout just nearby in case something broke out, but it's not going to be the case. And as the 6-minute rune will pop up, it's going to be snagged up there from eHug on the top, bottled up. A DD rune now for a Legion commander who does have duel at the ready. So we'll see what they're going to make of it. Lust has already moved himself over towards the mid lane position. Bottom lane, though, MJW has found a new little nesting home in the woods right here. Even though they have a sentry down, he is just constantly ducking in and out of the lane, keeping this Morphling guessing and moving around and forcing Yawar to be away from his CS.
Yeah, it's okay if you're buying lots of these sentries and getting kills and kind of making some of the money back, but he used 2 sentries at bottom, got nothing, gave away a double kill. Now he buys more sentries, so this is really crippling the Vengeful Spirit as far as just buying boots right now. And you get this high-level Brood, you have all these webs to play around with. You need so many sentries to actually provide the coverage you need. You're kind of past the stage of the game where Brood's just singing lane. Brood is going over into the jungle. We see a Sentry Ward in the jungle as well, and this is where you need to spend so much money on sentries, and Venge just can't keep up. Unless you're getting a kill sometime soon, this Venge is going to really fall behind.
This is one of those games where I wouldn't mind teams maybe experimenting with supports, maybe getting something like a Bloodseeker support. You know, you get that constant Thirstition, plus that Rupture in case there's a lingering Brood who wants to run away. But bottom, they're looking to run on in here. MJW leads off the charge with a nice little lingering nuke support. Oh, your boy JC gonna get taken down. The spiders help slow her down, and it's going to be Lust who picks up that kill on her Witch Doctor.
The only real obvious answer right now is sending someone like the Puck bottom lane to just nuke down the Spiderlings and keep the lane controlled. But Puck's your only real tempo controlling ganker. You want Puck controlling runes, looking for that haste rune, looking for that invis rune, and finding kills on the map. And ideally you find something like a haste rune bottom, and then you can kill the Brood with it, using dust/sentries. But right now, that's just such a big if that Root Gaming kind of running out of options. They will find an invis for Sumail at top lane. It's nice if you can TP to a lane with the invis, maybe make something happen. He's got treads coming out, it looks like, and is in an okay position, but he needs to find a kill with this ASAP. And it looks like they're just going to completely abandon bottom lane, so MJW may just be able to get a pretty fast tower off this. Morphling actually is TPing back in. So Morphling is not going to have a fun time down bottom if he's on his own.
And MJW can't really do a lot against the Morphling. Morphling's going to always find a way to slip on out right there. And, you know, there is a point when MJW really will want to be able to break down that tower. You know, Brood is really able to kind of unleash her farming potential if she takes on that tower and has free roam through this jungle. Already using that jungle right now. Mid lane, though, Sumal in a bit of trouble, but not going to be able to be taken down. That in Diz room, but return coil right there, and now SN is going to be going down. So Root Gaming able to get themselves another one right there. Sumail trying to run up to the north and away. And looks like they will be able to fizzle out the fight. Even your boy JC rotating in and getting on the action.
Very close. There was the DD rune from much earlier where he went for the jewel, but the Venge stun cancelling the last right click that would have got the kill. So nice little return fire. That's kind of what Root Gaming need. It was kind of a kill that fell into their lap, but it was nice defensive play from the support Vengeful Spirit. Problem is, MJW's now got his Midas up. He's going to keep on farming, get even more as far as levels go, and this dual lane in the offlane hasn't really done a whole lot. Sure, Infinity's not had the best time. He's been under a bit of pressure, but he's still got 54 CS. He's up there with the Morphling. He's just a little bit behind the puck, so his farm is still very good right now.
Yeah, they're making it work, and they like to spread their farm amongst others and have like that more multi-core kind of lineup, whereas Root, they put a lot behind Yawar, and he does have a lot of CS to show for it right here, but I don't know, I feel like there's going to be a lot in the back of this Morphling to try to bring it back, because as the game develops here, eHug, we're going to have a lot to work with, especially when the level 6s begin to roll in. You got your Omni Knight GA, I imagine more dual setups to come with maybe a Blink Dagger that eventually could be thrown together on this LC, and of course Razor, Infinity, going to be looking for some objectives, pushing forward and really utilizing that Eye of the Storm. So look for eHug to really dish out the fireworks here, and Root Gaming trying their best to stall them out and make the best as a 4-man squad. And then once Morphling manages to throw everything together, he could really be a nuisance.
Yeah. And part of that stalling is Morphling's now gone for a Midas, which is a bit risky, but it's something that if it pays off, it's going to really pay off. And they do want to stall this game and go late game, but it's more if we see eHug try and pressure the Morphling's lane, he's going to regret going this Midas. But they haven't got good heroes to actually gank him or really put him under pressure beyond the Brood.
And if it was like last time, this is like step 1 of 4 for Yawar. He gets the Midas, then you get the Lincoln, Shotgun, Scotty, and then it's time to go. So he's got a long way to go down that farming road of Morphling. Certainly Midas will help along the way, but if no one's there to pressure him, or maybe like last game if eHug just managed to get a lot done outside of Yawar and what he's doing, then they could still take this game. But we'll see when it's going to be that point to really tip it over here. Sna is level 5, getting pretty dang close to his level 6 on this Omni Knight, and he's done a nice job just sitting back, relaxing, not doing a whole lot, and somehow he's found 16 CS on the support, so it's not too shabby.
Not bad. As far as supports go for Root, they've been doing a lot of work stacking up the jungle, which it looks like Sumail is going to farm to finish off his Blink Dagger here, so he's got a nice little quad stack, it looks like, as that's going to get him up to Blink status, and from there, maybe makes his way towards top lane. Team up with the Venomancer and Abaddon, with the Aphotic Shield, could definitely look for some aggression, even under the tower. And that's where if you jump someone like an Omni Knight with a Blink Silence, you burst him down, then you look for that secondary follow-up kill once the Omni Knight Purification and Repel has been taken out of the picture.
We'll see here is Chicken MC just making a nice little ward home for himself, hanging back and relaxing. I do like that both supports on eHug got their magic sticks at the ready, just for someone like Venomancer to keep dishing out those sweet little charges, and plus Magic Wand is now maybe a good option as they buffed up the charges up from 15 to 17. It's not a whole lot, maybe adds like 20 to 30 life, but how many times have we seen Wand barely save someone's life? So we'll see if they decide to upgrade it from there, but it's relatively, I'd imagine, the calm before the storm of this game.
Yeah. Looks like bottom lane, MJW's changed tack a bit. He's been using his Spirelings a bit to farm the jungle and create a big Spireling army, but now he's like, wait a second, this Morph hasn't got much HP. I can just throw a nuke at Morph every now and then and keep him low, keep him as much zoned out as possible. He's got this bottle, but he's not getting any bottle refills unless he starts bottle crowing.
Look who's here. We got SN with that Invis rune trying to scout up behind. If he can get an easy duel setup, maybe Brood can crawl on in there and they can burst him down.
Brood may look to force a... This is where you want to like force a waveform out or something, but Morph is going to just wave TP.
That's a smart, safe play.
He seems to know that there was a gank coming in, because that was very defensive.
Oh no, blinking forward silence, and SN tries to get a hold of this puck, but he is already pieced out. SN has to get out of here, but can't. Coil's going to be on the return. Uh-oh, this gank has gone awry real quick, and now SN is going to be brought down. Nice return kill right there from Root. Man, they rotated over pretty damn fast. They might even look to push this bottom lane with how many people they brought over.
Yeah, well played by the Puck, getting the burst on the Spiderlings, and then he sees the Legion, but still had the orb up, so he just jaunts away, and Legion Commander getting a bit too overconfident there. This LC has done well in the laning stage, but hasn't found the good rotations. And we're getting to that stage of the game where the Puck and LC are going to be in this kind of battle to see who can rotate better around the map.
Sumail's not happy because mid lane, he just made a jump onto Lust. It was the orb forward and, of course, the silence.
Whoa.
Lust is pretty low here. It's pretty gnarly looking effect.
What is he? The new alt clicking?
Oh yeah, you mean just like you can click your own health bar now. Alt click your health bar. Just like a bunch of they added up.
Whoa.
You can alt click anything.
Huh. Dota 2, man. What a game.
Did you see that? I hate to be that guy. I was like, did you see on Reddit? But someone pointed out that I guess I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but I guess the bots talk shit now.
Yeah.
Something like he killed a courier and the bot's like, well played, dude. I've had enough of this. Trying to carry the team here as a bot, and you're over here getting a courier killed. Well played.
Nice.
So Sumail, I don't think he's going to be able to get this kill mid lane on Lust. And I hope this isn't the start of what we had yesterday, by the way. We had a lot of server hiccups yesterday.
Okay.
Not on our end, of course, or the players' end. It was just, it'd been patch time recently, and there's a lot of big matches happening. So, well, there you get it underway there, and he's trying to finish what he started on Lust. He even jumps forward right here. He does get that kill. Killing spree right now for Sumail. The young prodigy 15-year-old is going to be able to waltz his way up to the north and step on out. Nice quick grab for them after getting that kill on Legion Commander in the bottom lane. Allows Root to step themselves back into this early game, 4-5 now.
Yep. So, as far as Root are concerned, they're farming well. Like, Morphling and Puck are the two top CSs right now. The Razor's been kind of quiet, and you go for this early, like, Treads Drum build, you kind of want to either take objectives or take fights, but they haven't got the best pushing lineup, and Root have such good wave clear with the Wave of Terror, with the Plague Wards, with the Puck nukes as well, that there's not really any dangerous pressure coming out onto these towers right now.
I never underestimated those pesky Venom words, and of course in that waveform. I was questioning how the wave clearing was during the draft when they picked up that Brood, and it shows it's good enough. I mean, MJW hasn't been able to really do a lot of damage on this tier 1 bottom lane yet, which is really surprising with having a Brood Mother in the lane. So I'd have to say job well done for Root Gaming on that front, being able to defend out their tower. In fact, they really haven't lost any towers at all. Razor being in the top lane the majority of the game, that tower's unscathed. Mid lane unscathed. So, for both teams, it hasn't really been a lot about the sieging and the pushing. They're just taking the time to itemize.
Yeah, it seems a lot of it, the problem for eHug is that they pick the Brood, but none of their other heroes could pressure towers. Legion mid, you can nuke out waves pretty fast, but there's no real tower pressure. Same story for the Razor top, and then you don't have like your Jakiro type support. You've got an Omni Knight who's very just sit back behind a carry, maybe takes a lane like he is now to get some farm. And Witch Doctor, similar thing, went for like a gank early on bottom lane, but doesn't pressure towers whatsoever.
Snod's like the chillest Omni Knight ever, just doing his own thing here. He's got level 7, so he's got the level 4 purification.
Good
Don't
XP.
need no degen aura. He didn't level up the Guardian Angel yet. He's probably saving it a bit.
He's actually got a point in stats, I believe. I don't know.
Really?
I imagine that was a miss. I
1,
don't
2.
think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does. The mana pool is pretty low unless you go your Arcane Boot, so stats is alright, but I imagine it wasn't intended.
We'll have to see. Yawar continues to farm up here. MDW is just kind of nesting here. As is forced to step back. Those sentries that they've been putting down, they've kept them up. Maybe MJW was hoping that after a while the sentries would die and they wouldn't care to put down any more, but he has been effectively zoned back to his tower, and Yawar will just kind of step on the side and continue out the farm that his spiderlings were trying to take for himself. And now, mid lane rotation. It looks like we might see some pressure finally from the top here coming from eHug as Infinity has returned up here on his Razor.
Yeah, they tried to go for a gank on the Venomancer, but Razor leading the way, and the cast follows him back to the base to the fountain. But
look at these wards, man. They still have to clear out all the wards, and then eventually their creeps can move on forward.
And by the time the creep wave's there, guess what? Venom's back top lane with another 6-7 Plague Wards there. So instead, they're going to smoke up, but it gets spotted. Dire Observer Ward. Actually, no, that's their own Observer Ward. It seems they just saw it anyways. Maybe just didn't wait for the vision to clear, because that got pinged and like arrows were drawn on the map. Not to mention, suddenly this top lane's empty. It goes from 3 heroes to 0. It's like something's not right.
I mean, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, they might go for a push, and then suddenly they're not there. That's a bit fishy, I'd imagine, even from Root Gaming's side. So they're making a long walk with this smoke going towards all the way the Root Gaming jungle, where Sumail is currently eyeballing a sweet stack right here, and actually he already throws out the orb to go for a, well, I imagine what's going to be a double stack, but he just clears out the creeps, and it kind of works out the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets the respawn, which otherwise. So yeah, effectively does the same thing as a double stack. Just a little small camp here, but
that was a smoke for nothing. Infinity went all the way down there just to waltz himself back up to the top lane. That's a bit of wasted time there for eHug.
Yeah, they seem very lost right now.
This Razor pick hasn't really done much Razor work yet. He still has lots of time to work with, and he has respected farm, 104 CS. He's 4th in net worth. It's okay. Obviously, by this point, you're hoping to take some towers, and his net worth would be a bit higher, but yeah, it's been pretty quiet here, especially just overall from the top lane of eHug. Not much from the Omni Knight, not much from the Razor. Ultimately, that could change pretty quickly, but we'll see.
Yeah, I like what we're seeing from Root at this point. Spirelings can just get burst down here as well, so nice little 80 to 100 gold or so there. And there's not much MJW can do. He's going to build towards the Orchid, which is a nice way of actually being able to kill a Morphling with the Orchid Silence Initiation before he starts Morphling Strength. But you haven't got good follow-up lockdown. The Blink Legion is really what this lineup's going to be all about. And it's Legion who maybe needs to go for some smoke ganks. Like, they smoked the Witch Doctor with the Razor Omni Knight. You need to be smoking Legion plus Witch Doctor. Get these two going around together. Blink Jewel with a Death Ward coming in. And we've seen 0 jewels. Legion's level 11 and has 0 bonus damage. The 1 jewel mid did not succeed.
Now you're going to see your Omni Knight. He's able to pick up the Arcane Boots, so there's that extra bit of mana resource that he will need. Purification and Guardian Angel, very mana dependent right there. And maybe they're waiting a bit for Snot to be able to grab Guardian Angel. Maybe he skipped it over and they're like, guys, I kind of need some time here to farm up, but he's still a little bit away from level 9 if that is the game plan. Right now it's Chicken MC on defensive duty, laying out those wards, trying to slow the roll here. Still the tower not eating any damage. They even pull out a preemptive glyph. Well, that's for bottom lane. Spire's trying to get the last hit right here. Yawar trying his best to slow them down. They don't get the deny, but they could get Brood, and they will. So it's a tower for a Brood right there, and that pickup goes to Morphling. I'd have to say that works out very nicely for Root Gaming. That's just desperation mode for eHug, trying to get objectives, and they're still looking for more here. Jumping forward, duel onto Sumail. Death Ward going to be dropped. Can they bring down the Puck? Last minute shift not going to be there. Puck does drop. They make it a 1-for-1, making it better now for eHug. Can they get more, though? Chicken MC throws out the Gale to slow their roll, and Trouf is right in there with the heals at the ready and the shields. War is going to step back, and it looks like eHug could be chasing into no man's land if they keep this up.
He's in there now, but he needs to be by that Puck when the Blink Jewel came in, because he was down bottom there. He was with him, but then just backed off without kind of realizing that Puck was still in a kind of dangerous position and didn't actually have the escapes up and ready to go. So nice Jewel kill, getting Legion Commander finally on the board as far as some actual damage goes. And
yeah, that was weird. I mean, you're talking about Trouf being there, of course, right? Now, what about Vengeful Spear? Was she not there with a swap?
Both I know the Abaddon TP'd in. I don't think the Venge wasn't actually there when they killed the Brood. It was the Abaddon plus Puck plus Morphling. So Venge maybe just not in the neighborhood, but Trouf was definitely nearby. He just backed off. He's like, okay, we got the kill on Brood. End of the action, but no. eHug had rotated 3 heroes down bottom lane, which had been spotted. There was a Radiant lane ward which saw all those heroes there. So I think from that point of view, they should have been a bit more, at least sticking together, backing one another up. But
they'll definitely need it. They have a lot of defense for assaults like that, and I'm sure SN's happy. That was his first duel victory of the game. Was level 2, so he gets 14 bonus damage off from that one. Would love to get more, though, to be able to bring some significant right-click to the late game, especially when you're going to be going against a Morphling here. The late game could be very questionable on the side of eHug on that front, so Root Gaming are getting a lot as their Morphling continues to farm up now at the 10k mark. The bottom lane, they make the jump. There's going to be the second duel, and with that heal bomb, that's going to be another set of easy bonus damage there for SN, now getting 28.
Yeah. So even though, it feels like eHug kind of just have been stumped for a while, not really getting much done, they're still scaling well to the late game. They've got a Razor who's now picked up an Aghanim Scepter. They've got Legion who's working on the BKB. Omni Knight's just fantastic late game regardless, however you look at it. And Brood, not exactly the best scaling late game here, but the Midas can kind of make you a whole lot stronger. SN7 at bottom lane is going to turn around with the Omni Knight protection. This could be a potential fight.
Okay, Yule's up right now. Sumail is going to be able to duck out from that nuke, but the ward going to be dropped here. Trouf going to be going into borrowed time because of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was worth it yet. Lust, though, still hanging about right here, and we were waiting. The calm before the storm now. Both parties getting in on this bottom lane action.
Here's Jewel again.
Move forward, yeah. Oh, can he get a setup, though? And who does he go for?
Maybe the Abaddon while the ultimate's on cooldown would be nice. The problem is morphing as Linken's will morph strength. Puck just going to blink in, nuke down the wave, all bound. And
do they see the Orchid now on MJW as well?
Oh, yeah, that's a big pickup if you fight this.
That's a nice little silence. Yeah. Are they going to get it?
The Chucked ultimate, pretty short cooldown, but still 40 seconds away. So Abaddon also, the ultimate, much shorter, will be back up at 20. I think eHug may just have to back off and go farm here. Like, farm out the enemy jungle, then TP top, take some runes, and then just go on your merry way. And it looks like that's the plan. Razor TP's top. They forced Root to rotate 4 or 5 bottom, end of the day. They didn't really lose much, they didn't really gain too much. And they can kind of go back to that kind of stalemate scenario that we've been seeing for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're just getting, bottom lane, though. Yawar thinks he's comfortable here. Maybe looking to bait in MJW. There's going to be the Gale and coming in the swap to save him out. But that cask, that pesky cask, locking him in place. Now he waveforms. He's going right for Lust. They are able to quickly burst down the Omni Knight, and he drops. No Guardian Angel for you, sir. They quickly clean up the secondary support, and they also want SN here. SN will drop. Wow, Root Gaming. They hold the bottom fort. They wait for Infinity to leave on his Razor, and when they have an opportunity to bait in something on the Morphling, they jump, and they get a nice counterplay right there.
Yeah, I mean, MJW, I think he was just like, guys, I'm just going to do some solo harass, like poke in and get out of there, but the team were kind of misled by whatever he was doing and tried to back him up and go in when it wasn't really needed, but
they
must have miscommunication.
Yeah. Sumail was mid lane on the puck, and maybe they anticipated with Trout having to run back to Fountain that there wasn't really going to be a whole lot there, and well, they underestimated that. But yeah, like you said, it could be just a bit of miscommunication. These teams still pretty youthful as far as their fluidity with working with each other. eHug has been together as a unit longer than I'd say this Root staff, but Root is always a group that just surprises me with how well they can just shine with their individual pub talent. So we'll see. Root Gaming looking pretty strong here. Game number 2 here, and reminder, they need this win, otherwise they're going to be shoved down to the loser's bracket.
Infinity at top being just harassed more by the Morphling, who's got a ton of farm all of a sudden. You are a good 2 to 3k, more like 3k net worth ahead of the carries of the eHug side, and that's going to probably be a fast shotgun for him, I feel. Having just the burst damage, try and find a target before like Omni Knight can heal or repel them and just catch him by surprise. Maybe the way to go, unless he really wants to go all out, kind of split push and just find whatever damage he can in the side lanes.
So here we are, another bit of a lag spike right here. We'll just wait for this. Oh, never mind. It's an emergency apparently from Infinity's side. So please, hopefully everything is okay, and he will take the time he needs. And everyone's well respected, understands, and we'll just take a pause here to kind of digest what it is we're watching right now. Root taking on eHug. I'd have to say formidable start right there. In fact, he had a DC as well.
It sounds like he's actually out. Are they going to 4v5 it?
Oh, no. Frankie's grandma? That's not good. Oh, my goodness. I hope everything's okay. I feel terrible.
So do I, man.
Oh, man. Is it possible? I mean, we're not admins, of course, for this, but this seems like a unfortunate situation. I don't know if they're going to have to seek out a stand-in if that's the case or postpone eHug's matches, but... I mean, obviously,
unfortunate
stuff like that comes before Dota. I don't doubt the boy whatsoever. So, hopefully everything works out. Well, I wouldn't be surprised though if we're gonna have to get to an admin decision on the matter.
Yeah, there are possibilities. You can always like, I don't know what the rules are on it as far as like letting someone else just log into your account and play out the game for you, but that stuff will come down to the admins and us. So hopefully everything's okay with young Frankie. He's a guy I've been casting for, like, way back when Dota 2 first kicked off. Like, well, I mean, even back in Dota 1, I remember casting a few of this guy's games. But, like, in Full Sail, MLG, their first Dota 2 tournament, and he was on the old Dignitas squad. And he definitely showed... Back then, I remember looking at him like, this is a guy who has got a ton of potential and could be on a top-tier team. But he was, like, really young, still in school at the time, and... he just had all these, like, real-life obstacles that prevented him from going full-time Dota 2. Whereas other players, I mean, your RTs and stuff have made it work, but I remember thinking, like, this guy could be that next big star, but maybe this new eHug team.
You say that a lot about these young kids, like I've been saying it now about someone like Sumail, 15 years ripe, and, there's just so much that happens in real life. I mean, look at, like, Excalibur, for example. There's kids out there who are taking these heroes to a whole nother level. Heroes like, Meepo and Earth Spirit, Tinker for a while there. They're heroes that have, like, huge ceilings of potential, and only these young whippersnappers with their quick hand-eye coordination and fast reflexes can really utilize them in a way that's just, well, ban-worthy.
Yeah.
But, real life, man, is a big thing, and we're seeing right here with Infinity. Sometimes it's something you can't control, and, things don't always work out the way you want, unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately, because eHug were ahead 1-0. This, for those of you just tuning in to Starladder America Playoffs, this little match score ticker at the top, not accurate. eHug did win Game 1. This is Game 2 with the undefeated eHug squad in the lead.
Yeah, I don't mean to, hate on them too much. They did have a bit of a shaky road outside of Starladder. They have been participating a lot ever since they took on the eHug name. They were the back end of Summit 2. Now Starladder, they've been in iLeague and, of course, Dota Regions. They've had mixed results as far as both Dota Regions and iLeague goes, so it's a bit funny to see a team like eHug, who look well-respected and very good, but they still kind of take a game off, or they lose a game to an unknown name team.
Yeah.
I believe it was, let me see, that was each other. Their last match was a loss to RB Gaming in Dota Regions. So, maybe they just went a little too easy on them. I don't know. That's what I like to say. But, they're looking good here in Starladder, and hopefully we get to see them continue.
Yeah. I'd be curious because no EG means the playing field is just wide open as far as who's actually going to be going. You've got eHug who are undefeated, Snar who only lost one game, also now known as Team Fire. I mean, what's the deal there? Do you know any of the background there
For Team Fire?
Yeah,
maybe
a new name
I don't
change.
know. I think we might see
new identity,
something special. Yeah, maybe
okay.
a new reborn sneaky Nyx assassins group.
Okay.
I've heard murmurs, but I'll just let the
Yeah.
proof be in the pudding when we see it. I don't want to make any assumptions, and
Yeah.
then next
Fair
thing
enough.
you know, it's some random ass team.
It is the old name of Fluff's old team, his original Dota 2 team, before they got picked up by Complexity, when he was playing with TC, JO, and a few of those other old school guys that ended up becoming the Complexity team that went to TI2. They were known as Team Fire first.
I think it's warranted because, Sneaky Nyx Assassins has been a name that's been through this team for quite a while, and with their old roster of Ush and Sna himself, and now Sna's not even part of the group. Ush was recently not part of it, and I think, maybe they do need a rejuvenation point when they can kind of rebirth into a new squad, but I imagine then Fluff is involved, probably TC as well, and, well, we have a lot of young, rambunctious NA talent that are currently teamless. The Navi US group has, disbanded, so we might see some surprise faces here in this new squad.
And Navi US did say in their statement, they'd be coming back. I mean, obviously, that's generally what you're going to say. It's like, oh, we're not giving up. We're going to still look to make a second squad and look to help the American scene. But it did sound kind of positive, like they were going to do something. So
you want them to find a good home, because I feel like when I talk to these players, they're so eager to play. They love to play. They love being a part of the Dota action. They're looking to take this serious, but sometimes, unfortunately, maybe you're young and maybe you have to learn to put your ego in check, but when a game doesn't go your way, it seems that things get just a bit dramatic, and they can't kind of hold their own. And hopefully they find a new squad or put together a squad where they feel well respected with each other and can kind of take it to the next level. So I'm actually really excited to see that match. Is that going to be what we see next, GoDz? Why don't we go ahead and throw up the schedule here from N Broadcaster? Because we have the tools.
We have the
We
tools.
can do
We have the
fancy overlay work
technology.
while we wait for Frankie to come on back. Right now, he should take the time he needs in such an important matter. But yeah, it's going to be Fire taking on Leviathan here. And now Leviathan, we did see yesterday. They took on Root as well in the winner's bracket of the tiebreakers. Man, so much America Dota action here. You're talking about all the group stages. We have a double elimination tiebreaker. Now we're going to playoffs, which is a double elimination. And then we get to the LAN. Starladder, man. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of interesting thoughts on Starladder, but I'll tell you what, for the ticket price, you're sure to get a lot of Dota.
Yeah, there's tons
That's
of
what's
game.
most important.
That's where they get season after season. They're just people like this Dota TV ticket because you're just guaranteed to get a ton of Dota 2 games from all different regions. So if you're an American Dota fan, you got your American Dota. If you like your bread and butter, which is your European Starlight, which was what they only had for 7 seasons. I think it was season 8 when they first went international. Maybe it was season 7. I can't remember which one, but they suddenly blew it up and said, we're going to do China, America, and lots more. And
now they have 4 a year.
Yeah.
4 a year. It's ridiculous. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. A lot of these, especially in this region, you got a team like EG who has pulled out which, obviously they've been playing a lot, but this now allows some of these Tier 2 teams to really
exciting.
make a name for themselves and create a big story and get some hype. I mean, Leviathan, didn't really have much going for them. Summit 2, they make a huge run on a team that was like a last-minute bring-in, and now look at them. They got a nice fancy logo. Reddit apparently is on their side. You got signature players that are happening like Jenkins and his Pudge, and now you got people rooting for you.
Yeah, they're becoming community figures.
And eHug have been showing a lot of strong potential, 7-0. I mean, I love Ryu Boris and I love the old eHug squad, but this new eHug squad shows a lot of promise, and I like them a lot. Root Gaming, well, they're a bit of a hodgepodge, like foster children trying to find a home, but hey, they just show that they have a lot of up-and-comers and strong talent, so I guess you could say I'm pretty biased towards this region, but it's America, baby. Born and raised.
I was raised, not born.
Yeah. You're like a Navajo. You're like all
I'm
over the place, like
half
a gypsy.
Yeah. I was scared of gypsies growing up, man. Some people are scared of clowns, are scared of dinosaurs, whatever. Maybe I was scared of gypsies.
Gypsies?
They scared me, man. I don't know. Something about them.
They're going to come in and take your house.
Yeah.
Live there.
Well,
Damn them for moving
the way,
place to place.
I don't know. I think, Hunchback of Notre Dame gypsies. Like, those kind of gypsies are just like...
What, like festive? They got, like, scarves hanging from their arms and they're dancing around with balls and juggling and stuff?
They're like scarier versions of clowns.
I don't think they look like that.
I really like
the
clowns
stereotypical
for whatever reason,
look,
Yeah.
What?
We've got a friend joining us.
Yes, the BTS house now currently has a dog. It's a little corgi here named Piper. She is adorable. She's got a derpy face, but man, she just always looks happy.
The general, just like everyone in the house is just like so much more cheery now.
That's the thing. Having a dog in the workplace is just so nice. And you look at me, you bark, I come down to pet you, and you're like, don't pet me. Just let me look at you.
Mm-hmm. Give me some attention. Give me some attention, she says.
Good little doggy. Land finals for Starladder are going to be happening in January, mid-January, from the 15th to the 18th, I believe. And right now we are sporting a $120,000 prize pool and slowly on the rise.
Yep.
Starladder always starting with that nice 80K front. So lots of good money up for grabs here.
Yeah, it's a good time, and also we know some of the teams going. MVP Phoenix just a few days ago qualified for SEA, beating out Rave 3-2.
Oh wow!
Taking out the first departure as well as Invasion, falling short in the playoffs, and then in China, Invictus Gaming and CDEC, as CDEC beat Vici Gaming to qualify. So we won't be seeing Vici Gaming.
Vici Gaming?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
CDEC are looking like that kind of breakthrough team of like 2014 for me, at least as far as the Eastern scene goes.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, can't be too over-invested in all the regions, but definitely looking forward and happy to hear that. So we still have Europe. We still have America underway here. I believe the finals for this America region happen in 2 days' time. I believe we have playoff action today, playoff action tomorrow, and then on the third day, we will have the finals, and I believe it's going to be Ziori and Merlini bringing that coverage. Is that right?
Yes. That's finals is tomorrow.
Oh, finals is tomorrow.
We got three today and 3 tomorrow.
Oh, we're cramming playoffs in 2 days.
Yep. So it's...
We're not working hard enough, apparently.
Looks like we're going to get ourselves into a rehost here. They're going to rehost from the last load. I believe that means we may be seeing a stand-in.
Mm-hmm. So. At least for this game. He said at first he needed 15 minutes, but... For a lot of tournaments and their guidelines, that's like the max pause time. The show must go on.
I'm always so scared when I click leave game. Like, did they actually leave? Like,
are we done? Are we stuck on the ticket now?
I'm not sure. So players who weren't in the game can actually stand into a replay load. Then is that what?
Yeah.
What this means?
Oh yeah. You can have a stand-in come in during a load.
Okay.
At least that's what I was told. I believe in Cyborg Matt messaged me. I don't mean to put the guy on the spot, but I'm pretty sure he said that to me before because I'm just notorious for having games where we have problems like this.
Yeah.
But. I don't think it's too much trouble, and maybe if Infinity everything works out, he can come back if there's going to be a game number 3.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a game
That'd
number
be really unfortunate. You go up 1-0. Game 2, I'd say right now, very even, maybe like 55-45 in favor of Root Gaming. Maybe a little more like 60-40, but definitely anyone's game to some extent. So
yeah. And Infinity's a big player on their team. I mean,
Yep.
for God's sakes, before their eHug, it was called Infinity Stack, so they could be taking a bit of a blow not having them, and this could put them up to 4 stand-ins.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's Root. I'm thinking of that. I already have 3. Stand-in versus stand-in gaming.
It's also
real.
tough. Like, if you're standing in and you're already 25 minutes in the game, like, suddenly you're a player and hero with you don't have that like flow from early to mid to late game. You're just a Razor with Acceptor.
You want to play this game? Listen, you're a Razor. You got these items in your top lane currently. Listen, make the best of it, okay? We're counting on you. There really hasn't been much shown from Razor thus far, but this is about to be that breaking point where we're trying to really shine and take objectives. So
the rest of us just got team wiped as well. Like we just lost 3 heroes. Like
yeah, we're counting on you to make a big comeback play here. No pressure, buddy. Whoever this is, it's going to be Supercell apparently. So no pressure, buddy. I guess the nice thing is that it's. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Infinity's like the I don't want to say the playmaker, but the guy who calls the shots in the game. Usually it's like the support, or for this case it might be SN, their captain. But I guess when you have a stand-in, the best position you can have to fill is like these core positions where you're kind of like, it's a Razor, you know what he does, get your farm, do your job. Whereas if maybe you're throwing a core player into a support position where you're trying to make calls, then things get a bit finicky. Yeah. But we got a new stand-in. Guess, boys, we need to change that over to root. They did that yesterday as well. Come on, guys, get it together, and we should be able to get back and underway. So I'm trying to remember. You said it was a team wipe?
They lost 3 heroes. Like that bottom where the Brood went in, everyone else ran in and died, and Brood escaped, though. They lost 3 heroes. Ready. Let's go.
Oh, man, rough stuff. So we'll see. They're going to get right back into this one. Game number 2 of this best of 3, the first one today. And as you said before, as I'm dreading, it's going to be 3 best of 3s, upwards of 9 games today, if we're blessed. That much Dota action. All America, too.
A good way to spend your last day here before you go back home for the Christmas holidays.
I got to get my studio's worth before I go. Yeah. And then I get to pack. What a day.
It's all right. Brent's cooking a good feast for us tonight, apparently.
Yes. I love a good home-cooked meal. That's right, folks. We don't eat McDonald's every day.
Just 6 days a week.
Just 6 days a week.
We're going to be careful throwing out stats. Ben apparently was throwing out stats in his stream about how often he showers, and he's like, it's like 300 days of the year.
Speak of the devil.
So Ben apparently only showers 300 days of the year is the stats on that.
This guy's such a goober. Here we go. We're back into this one. We are going to have the replacement now. Supercell stepping in for Infinity here on the Razor here, top lane. eHug just lost 3 on the bottom. Root Gaming looking strong here in game number 2 as we finally get back and underway.
Yeah. Looks like Brew going to build towards a BKB. Probably some of these items and stuff, just for those of you tuning in. Those of you like us who probably just forgot where we are right now. And it's a very farm Morphling. I think that's really the big kind of story right now. This Morphling, 3k gold, E-Blade probably on the horizon or whatever other big item he wants to go for. And even the Puck has a Blink, Yules, and picked up a Plate Mail of all items to just give himself a lot of extra survivability against the Jewel, as well as possible just like an Orchid initiation from a Brood.
Yeah, loving that extra bit of armor on that front. Yawar continues to farm on up, and it looks like Chicken MC, who's got his point booster, just looking to build up and get that Poison Nova at a critical mass level where it's just a real pain in the butt. Luckily, they do have Guardian Angel. Maybe a pipe could be something that's considered. It's just an item that always players, they preach about, but they never really go for. And it was changed a bit in the patch. It's somewhat, I think it's cheaper. The recipe was brought down by a good margin, so.
And duration increased, I want to say.
Yeah,
so it's like 12 instead of 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's not as much of a huge investment as it once was, and its potent power is going to be that much longer. So something that teams might need to consider in their arsenal going against heroes that are huge magic burst, your Zeus, and, well, your Venomancer. So we'll see if it's something eHug considers. Otherwise, Root Gaming now moving as a small Hitman squad are going to head right towards this bottom lane, hoping for a pickoff, if not at least going for that tier 1 tower, I'd imagine.
They walk past a ward, so pickoff should not happen, but we've seen crazier things, but it looks like they're going to just still remain grouped up here.
Oh, yummy spiders for Superman.
Okay. He's up to 4k gold now, and things don't seem to be slowing down for Root. They're happy just to sit back, play this farming game, and I kind of like that. They've got these heroes who can scale pretty well. You've got the Venomancer still working on an Acceptor, then would love a Blink Dagger. You've got the Morphling who's yet to pick up that item. You kind of said at the start, so with Yawar, he likes that, not just that 1 or 2 big items, he wants 3, 4 before he even gets involved.
I got to reach my final form before I finally make the fight. And if he goes down his usual road, he'll be going the Ghost Scepter next, then Scotty, and then maybe I'll fight. We'll see. Okay. I want to make sure I got the gains. So, Yawar, he'll just continue to farm on up. He's making it work in the jungle. There's your boy JC nearby, helping out with those stacks and that true farm. And, yeah, man, this just seems to be Root Gaming. They just want to farm it on up. They are not looking to press forward. They haven't really taken many towers, just the one on that mid lane. But I guess the same goes for eHug. And, I mean, if it's a stall-out kind of a game, I imagine the Morphling is the one who benefits the most. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. There is some kind of cool late game heroes like the Omni Knight who you have to always take into account in the late game. These really high impact, like to me, like Omni Knight and Elder Titan are these kind of supports that you drag it out. Even if your opponents have the better carry, they can sometimes be negated by supports. Compare that to an Abaddon. He doesn't offer too much late game. He stays alive, but he's staying alive just to offer like a small bit of heal or some damage block. Maybe gets rid of a stun, but there aren't even that many stuns on the eHug side. He could get rid of the Orchid with the Aphotic Shield, but to me, the Root Gaming supports don't scale anywhere near as well as like an Omni Knight Witch Doctor.
So eHug, they see that Root are going to finish off the top tier 1, and they take the time to go for Roche. But they finish that tier 1 so quick now. Root Gaming are flirting around this Roche pit. Ralph is going to potentially lead in the charge. He does have borrowed time if he wants to soak up the damage, and he is. Shields up, thinking about cowboying himself in there. Roche is going to go down. It's quickly taken, and they even pop a GA for this one. And I think Root just might need to back on out and wait for this one. They do get the Aegis. It's going to go to Supercell, their new stand-in, as he begins to focus down Chicken MC. Meanwhile, on the back lines, you're going to hear that duel happening right there, and Yawar is going to pick up a sweet grab, taking down that Witch Doctor. Supercell cleans up your boy JC, and ends up being a 1-for-1 now. Right back at the Roche pit side, you're going to see Mail jump to the high ground. Yawar cleans up another, grabbing down that Omni Knight, and it looks like eHug are going to have to quickly waddle themselves out of here.
Yeah. That was before Morphling even has the E-Blade. They're contesting Roshan with 5k of Morphling's net worth on the Courier right now, which is going to be coming out for these next fights. Razor still has the Aegis, but I don't look at that and be like, okay, eHug just got a big win by getting Roshan. I'd say that was like a very small strategic benefit to them having an Aegis now. I don't think they can really take objectives too easily. And guess what? Supercell, say goodbye to your Aegis. He gets blown up. Sumail going to get jeweled, though. I think he's going to be okay still. He's got Yules, he's got Phase Shift, and not enough damage.
No, certainly not.
Blink out.
Ooh, but Yawar might come in and get a part of the party here.
He's baiting.
Do we have Coil? Blink forward. They don't even need it. It's 14 seconds on cooldown regardless, but they get a nice burst to take down the LC, and Root Gaming are looking better and better as the game goes on, and man, oh man. I think there's just going to be a quick point that Morphling's going to finish out this Scotty, and they can move as a squad, and I don't think there's going to be much answer from eHug. This is the other thing. I mean, you have a Brood, a hero who doesn't typically like to just move with the rest of the squad. She's more just plaguing and getting a split push farm happening. They've only taken that tier 1 bottom. Now MJW trying to make work, but still has half a tower to go through here in the top lane.
Yep. There's going to need to be big plays from everyone on the eHug side. Witch Doctor needs to finish the Ag Scepter up, and that's why Lus is just jungling it up. Even needs his level 11. Omni Knight, probably something like a Blink Dagger to go with Snar's item set just to get that good mobility to get around, make sure he gets the best possible heal and repel off in a fight as well as a GA. But everyone on eHug needs to pull their weight. Whereas for Root, if your Venom gets off an ultimate just on 1 or 2 heroes, it's not the end of the world. You've still got Puck, who's got great control. You've still got Morphling, who's almost guaranteed to get 1 or 2 kills in a fight. So there's so much more room for error with the Root Gaming side, whereas eHug, everything has to go flawlessly.
Yeah, and it's just a greedy lineup overall. eHug squad, you're talking about what items they all need, and that means they all need to farm, and there's only so much map to work with, and Root Gaming, they have support picks that can utilize a lot without having very many items. So it works out better that way, and they can just pull everything and all the resources towards Morphling to really be a big bad bully in the late game. But now smoked up eHug, both Sna and SN here, dancing around the woods, hoping to see a swift pickoff here, but they're not. Yawar is there now, but they had missed their window, and they go right back towards the bottom lane.
Things really just looking like a bit of a struggle here for eHug. Lus is even trying to farm Ancients as a Witch Doctor with the cast, which you can do for some of these Ancient Black Drakes, but beyond that, probably not going to see too much in the way of actual item progression if you're trying to Ancients as a Witch Doctor. And the rotation through the jungle is going to come from Root Gaming. There's an Observer here, and this is where I wouldn't mind seeing them pick up a gem on either the Abaddon, Venomancer, or even the Vengeful Spirit. Any of these, and Morphling going to catch out the Witch Doctor. There's that E-Blade coming into action, and oof. Not much eHug can do about that.
Yeah, he's going to be that much further from getting an Agnums, and it doesn't take a lot to bring him down. He had that point booster and Ogre Club as well. So a tanked up Witch Doctor not even going to stand to this Morphling. That is going to be pretty scary for eHug.
Top lane, it looks like they may want to go on this Razor. This is a replicate of a Puck, so Morphling could come in. E-Blade up in a couple of seconds, but it looks like he's not going to make any kind of commitment. It's mid lane. SN7 gets nuked down, but not anywhere low enough that Yawar wants to go for a waypoint.
Certainly not, but you can tell just by the shift, Root Gaming feeling a lot more confident in these lanes, beginning to start to press themselves forward and force eHug to play a bit more sketchy, a bit more defensive. And we'll see here, bottom lane with 3 together, and Chicken MC starting to lay down his foundation of wards. It looks like they're going to go for the next tier 1 tower here. MJW trying to nest a home, but really, we'll see what he can get done. 10-second BKB still at the ready here for your Spider. But really not much of a defense he can put up for now. But rotations are coming here. We've got Sna on the back, Omni Knight with GA at the ready, and Lust with that Death Ward.
That's a kill. Yawar just takes out Supercell. You know, that's a misplay by Razor, but at the end of the day, like, he just got put into this game 30 minutes in, out of his comfort zone. Who knows if he even, like, is much of a Razor player. Like, you can't even blame the guy for something like that when he's just been thrown into the mix unexpectedly.
Exactly. And he's forced to defend for himself, and he doesn't really understand the repercussions of how farmed this Morphling is on the other side. So they continue to push out that top lane. Bottom, they're still being a nuisance here as eHug just continue to dance it about. They need to do something either here or top lane. SN's there now, but their tier 2 is about to drop, jumping forward. A little bit of that adaptive push. Shove SM back. They get their tower. It goes for Morphling. In bottom lane, they grab another. 2 sets of towers. Morphling now made a big purchase. He has 1K in reserve, but he also, finished out a Manta style outright? Oof. Very far Morphling here.
Yeah, this is getting kind of brutal here, as we'll see probably this T2 tower brought down the bottom lane with the Plague Wards, with Sumail on the front lines really tanky, and Morphling, DD Rune still has a pretty good duration left on it, so this Repel, like, they don't even need a Diffuser Blade to deal with the Omni Knight right now. It's just everything's going so nicely for him that they're in this really dominant position.
And here we see Root Gaming, after they acquire yet another tower, they'll begin to shift over and away through the secret shop towards the mid lane and just go objective after objective. And with that much kind of a space, they can wait it out for possibly Roche to respawn, get that Aegis, and then begin to go for high ground. Or maybe they feel confident here and keep on pressing forward here. Oh, Yawar sees the nuke, goes forward, big damage. Supercell, though, going to be healed and repelled up. Sumail's not going to be able to finish him off, but they still get that tower.
Yeah, the problem is Root just control who's getting repelled, who's getting healed up. They just throw a shotgun on someone, and they don't even care if they don't die because it forces a repel on them, and then you can find a new target, someone who's not repelled, someone who's... then suddenly the Omniite had to move forward, and he's maybe out of position. So they're just forcing eHug to play defensively, and it's not like eHug are counter-initiating. They're just using their defensive heals and then running like hell, which opens up these easy tower takedowns, which we've seen 3 T2 towers in a row get taken with no contest from eHug. Well, looks like the Dead Witch Doctor.
Oh God, Lust. He's just trying to find his own way and build towards an Agnum Scepter. Oh, desperation, not going to be happening. Yawar, wicked sick on his Morphling right now, obliterates him in that top lane.
Yep. Nothing going eHug's way. And this is one of those games which is so demoralizing as well because you're just getting puppeted around. Right now, Root Gaming are the puppeteers and just toying with eHug on every side of the map. The mobility, Yawar's done a great job using this replicate to farm, push out a lane, go for a pickoff, and then he's got that replicate to take him to the other side of the map. And then suddenly he's applying pressure elsewhere. So the replicate use has been fantastic from the Morphling this game.
Absolutely. And you're not seeing any more eHug blink-in duel setups. You're not seeing any sort of aggressive pressure whatsoever from eHug. It's clear that their backs are just slowly getting closer to the wall. And now they might need to consider a good formation for a great high ground defense that could be coming in the near future, or maybe right now. Yawar still split pushing this top lane. It's now beginning to just come a knocking here from the north side. Snob jumps forward with his repel. He actually dives. He wants to quickly burst down Lust. Can he get it and replicate back? He almost gets it and will be able to just get himself out. No successful hit and run there for Yawar, but pretty damn close.
It's bottom lane instead. They find the Broodmother with the Puck, Venno, and Venge. Everyone else, like, your Morphling creates space at top lane, suddenly these pickoffs present themselves to you. Puck having the Scythe of Vice now to help get that lockdown, to get the Brood.
That plus Shiva's ridiculous how much farm even Sumail has on this Puck.
He's done absolutely fantastic, and suddenly you've got multiple lanes being pressured. Morphlings at mid, other 4 heroes at bottom lane. Who do you send where? You want to kill the Morphling, you need 4 or 5 heroes. You're not killing him anyways, most likely, so you maybe dedicate heroes to the bottom lane instead, but then Morphling takes your mid lane.
And Snot can't Guardian Angel everyone if they're spread so far, so this is a great game plan from Root. They're going to go on bottom, though. They're trying to get a hold of SN. Snot trying to get there in time to heal him up. Does get the heal off and the repel, but is it going to be enough? There's your GA, and now hoping for a defense, but they are still eating a lot of damage. That poison is going to linger past the GA regardless. Yawar sweeps through, gets a monster kill for himself, but they're not done yet. Sumail cleans house, and that's enough for eHug to raise the white flag. They give up game number 2, and we're going to see a game number 3.
Whew. That's a tough one. Like I think things were going downhill before even Infinity had to leave the game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's back for Game 3, but if he's not, eHug maybe have their work cut out for them. Game 3 decided here in round 1 of the playoffs for America, and it's going to be tough.
Tough indeed. So we'll see if they can do it. eHug, the team that's been coming in this one undefeated, and Starladder will take their first loss after a very impressive 8-0 run. But this Root Gaming squad never say die. Game number 3 coming up shortly.